Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's F2 division. We are here live on Monday night, and it is the round 2 of the season, round 2 of 16. This is going to end quite quickly before we know it, with the shortened season. But it also means the races come thick and fast, and the drama will become quite early on as well. Last week we were in Mexico, and this week we've popped just over the virtual border to USA, the circuit of the Americas. Our first visit to the States, because at the end of the season we go to Miami, which is a very interesting thing to have as a finale, but that will be right at the end of the season. But we're in here, we're still getting used to all the drivers here, and after a hectic race in Mexico with safety cars and drama and all sorts of stuff, we're here for another race once again. I'm bigging it up. Better be entertaining, otherwise they're just going to go around in circles. It'll be boring. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm SF Michaels. For those that know me, I am here with my co-com for F2. Good evening to you, Days. Your co-com this week. You did a fantastic job last week streaming, if I must say so myself.
Thank you.
What an exciting race that was. Are you the same as me? You're expecting more, if not better, from this race?
Oh, certainly. F1 I watched yesterday, and it was quite an interesting start. Heavy rain, some drivers went onto the inters, some started on the full wets. It was very interesting to see that strategy play out. Great race from those guys for sure, and I'm pretty sure you already know this, Michaels, but if you don't, I did all of the comms for last week. I am not planning on doing that again.
I saw that.
Thursday I was pretty worn out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was.
Apologies to anyone watching last week's F4 comms. Just know I was not on my A game. I was kind of mentally drained.
Hey, you were there. That's the most important thing. You were there. You know, that's the gold star, if you will. So.
Hello, Double. How are you doing, man?
Already got a chat? I missed the chat.
We do.
Anyway.
Yes, he said Double said hello. It looks like this session will start off dry, so that's good news for the drivers, or maybe bad. Depends on what they prefer. Personally, I prefer wet races. It makes things a lot more dicey. Some people are perfect in the wet, and others are completely and utterly lost. I'm one of those drivers who's not perfect, but better in the wet. I'm far more prepared for wet conditions than I am for dry conditions.
Yeah, I used to be really good in the wet. It's I've lost my touch a bit on the last couple of games. It has got a lot more tricky in the last couple, and it's now a challenge, I feel, especially with the whole traction control as well, especially if you run anything from medium or no traction. But yeah, clear skies. The low sunlight is going to be interesting on the back straight days. I don't know if you've practiced. Well, I assume you've practiced, because obviously you have your race tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
as of right now, I've done about 100 laps of practice. I've done about half of them in the wet, half in the dry. And I gotta tell you, this low sun is definitely going to be massive pain for the drivers coming down that backstretch in Sector 2.
Right, first of all, I was going to say this before he did it, but first a little bit of admin work that we need to do. Camo has a qualifying ban. I believe he has had the qualifying ban from last season carried over, and because he didn't race last week in Mexico, he had to take it this race. So yeah, that's why Camo's immediately retired. He'll be starting from the back of the grid. Be interested to see what he can do. Also, we have a debutant in the Haas for tonight. Benny Boy, he's in for, that would be Fruit Boy, because Macy Q is in the other Haas. Haas going into this days are the only team to not score points from Mexico. So let's hope they get off the score sheet tonight. Even if it's just 1 point, just get off that dreaded 0.
Certainly. Coming through the final corner now, Breezy will be the first man to start his hot lap for tonight's Q1 session. Opens up the DRS, coming down up this big hill. It's about 130 feet in elevation change from the finish line to the peak of turn 1. Going down through turn 2, full throttle through here. Now the 6th gear, he cuts turn 5, I believe. There's a lot of corners here in first sector. He's invalidated his lap, so we move on to our next driver, and that is the Williams of Stygian.
I almost knew you were going to go to Stygian as well. The transition was perfect. As soon as you said Stygian, I was already on it. Even before you said it.
That's good. Now through the first sector, heading towards the hairpin.
There was a lot of drivers last week, days, Stygian being one of them, that I felt like they got very unlucky in the race because they showed more pace than what they ended up with points. Like, for example, Stygian, if I check where he finished 4th, which was respectable. I feel like it could have been, it deserved more than that. I mean, there were others that had a worse race than that in the end.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah. So,
but
and if I remember rightly, he
good point.
He crashed out in Q1, did he not? Like 15.
Yes, he crashed out in Q1. Trying to put up another lap, and unfortunately it took him out of Q2 and he had to start 14th. But he nonetheless had a great race. I definitely imagine he was wishing for more than P4, especially with the pace that he had. Across the line, it's 34.5 for the Dutchman of Stygian. They don't call him the Flying Dutchman for nothing. The next man across the line will be the Red Bull of Crazy Fish, I believe. No, check that. It'll be his teammate Arash Alonso. Across the line, he puts up a 35.9. Now we go to Crazy Fish. Out of the final corner, it's a 34.7. He takes P2 from his teammate. It's 2-3 for Red Bull right now. Next man across the line will be Grunty. He is on the end of his outlap, though, so we move to Benny Boy. Check that. His teammate Macy Q. Coming through the final corner. The line is a 35.2 for the Haas.
Dace, can you give Shane an invite for me, please?
Shane, yes, I got you.
Yeah, he's having a few issues. He's popped on and offline for a couple of times, which I hope he's able to get into qualifying and set a lap time, because we don't want him to go out without setting or being able to set a board here. 34's decent lap time so far.
7 from ACQ through the first sector. Sorry.
That's alright.
Improving quite a lot in the first sector for him. We've got a yellow in sector 3. It's for Breezy.
Just staying out of the way.
So he's gonna have to. Yeah, he's definitely staying out of the way. Fair play to him. Man who passed him, Maddie, coming through the final quarter now. Across the line, it's a 34.7. He takes P2 by 8 thousandths of a second over Crazy Fish. So far, it looks like Stygian might have a pretty big gap to P2 as of right now. He's diving into the pits now. We've got a yellow in sector 2. It's for Macy Q. That's going to end any chance he had at putting up a second lap.
Yeah, Shane,
Looks like Shane has joined, so that is good news.
Would you say, Daze, that this is more tricky track in terms of track limits than Mexico? I mean, Mexico obviously has that middle sector, but USA has the first sector, which is very tricky to keep clean, especially during qualifying.
Oh, it's a monster of its own kind. That's for certain.
Oh,
last season
sorry.
I had one of my best races overall in this league. Here, started from P4, got P5 at the end. And good news, Shane has loaded into the game.
Yeah, so back up to 18 drivers, which is great. Genghis Logan in the Williams, right behind Locker, who I went ooh, because Locker pretty much had a tank slapper out the S's. Managed to keep it going. That's Genghis has got a very nice slipstream on the back of the Alfa Romeo. You can see the sunlight there, it's just right in your eyes.
Yeah,
very off-putting.
Gonna imagine a handful of drivers are probably gonna go wide through that I'd say about 100-degree hairpin or corner. Very tight. Very, very tight at the long straight, too. Ooh, Jankus Logan losing the rear end out of that corner, coming through the long right-hander now. He's sitting here about 95% on the throttle.
Interesting from Locker ahead. Locker looked like he was going to go into the pits, then started a lap, and now he's
39.5 for Locker, 37.1. I think Logan is showing his displeasure there.
A bit dodgy that was.
Yeah,
That's what
certainly.
they were going to hit.
Get a yellow for Veloce getting out of the way of some drivers.
Yeah, another little bit of admin work we need to do. Zalbrad, unfortunately, has had to leave the league for reasons. I don't know the exact reason, but he did put a message this morning. So we are going to have a replacement driver in there, in the McLaren. I believe it's Veloce for tonight, but it hasn't been made official who that is going to take the spot. It's going to go to one of the reserves. Money Biscuit hasn't yet announced yet.
Yeah, while we were talking, Grunty put up P4 with a 34.9. P4 for him.
Pole was mid 33s, wasn't it, in F1 last night? So probably high 33s for F2, low 34s.
Running on board with Cornish, Jankus Logan gets out of the way.
Careful through this long right hander. We've already seen a couple of drivers this week already lose it through there. Nice and stable.
The penultimate corner now through the final corner. Keep going. DRS into the line. It's a 34.5. Cornish takes P2. Barely off of pole. Less than 200 separate him and Tornado right behind him with a 34.4.
Nice. 10th covering the top three already. This is good stuff.
Almost a whole 10th ahead of Stygian. I do wonder if anyone's going to put a second run out here in Q1, or are they going to be satisfied with the run? Oh, we got a yellow. It's for Breezy spinning out again in the long sweeping right-hander.
Not having a good time so far, is he?
Certainly not. He may have his setups. He may have his car set up for the race and not qualifying. I've definitely had those issues sometimes. Steffi Wethy crosses the line and he puts up a 34.9, good enough for P6. Following him, we've got the Alpine of Eagle, a 34.6. It's P4 for the Alpine.
8 drivers in the 34s already. Looks like you're going to have to get into the 34s just to be safe, I reckon. Or maybe a low 35 would be safe, but if you get the 34s, you should be alright. By the looks of this pace.
Arash Alonso looks like he could put up a lap, but he did not improve through the first two sectors as Stygian is retired in the pits.
Could be
The
safe
good
with
news
that.
is that yellow is not for Stygian. I thought it was going to be, but no, it's for Steffi. It looks like he's trying to burn extra fuel. If I were you, Steffi, I'd definitely go full throttle if you want to do that. just a tip. If you want to burn extra fuel on your outlap. Ooh,
Sorry.
what happened?
Sorry, Benny Boy, into the triple right-hander. Got halfway through it, and the car just completely just turned him around.
Yep. Looks like Breezy's not the only one having these troubles. Oh, yeah, I was about to say Benny Boy might want to stay out of Macy Q's way. He does. Macy Q gets through. He's invalidated his lap, though, so... we'll have to hope that he can put up a better lap right now. He's P10 currently with a 35.2. I'd say 35.243 right now is the time to beat if you want to make it into Q2. Although only one driver outside of Camo, of course, will be leaving here. 3, actually, that's right, because Shane joined in.
So that'd be 2 joining Camo. Let's hope
And
it's not the other Aston
Tornado
or
is retired
Breezy.
in the pits.
Yes, hope it's not the other Aston or Breezy that joins Camo. They do not want to be right in the back, the 2 Astons.
Next man to cross the line will be Arash Alonso. He's not improving on his lap. He's down 1.8 seconds. He might just want to dive into the pits now and put on another set of softs if he wants to improve.
Same with Benny Boy as well. He's on his 3rd lap on the soft tyres, which I do not recommend. A lot of these tracks on this game, the softs only last a lap and that's it. Although still, some people can get multiple laps out of them and they're 6 tenths down on his personal best. So, yeah, get another set of tyres on Benny and then be going again. And then Shane is just on his out lap. Thank God he made the session.
Yeah. On board with Benny Boy. He gets to the right-hander and he's good. Now come to the penultimate corner. Matty has retired in the pits. Currently sitting P5 for him. Eagle following and Cornish as well. Your top 5 have retired for the session. And Benny Boy puts up a 37.4, improves by about 13 seconds or so.
I'm surprised
it only goes up to P14.
I'm surprised he didn't go to the box in the end of his lap there.
Oh! Right on board with Locker, and he almost lost the rear end out of the first corner. Tires are still a little cold. Oh, and I switched to Shane. Oh.
An out lap. He's still alright, but that's not the preparation you want at all.
Certainly not. Rears are going to be a little hot heading into turn 1 and through here.
He's got time. He can. I'd recommend to probably cool the tyres on this lap and then go again on the 2nd lap. If he has put enough fuel in is the only other question.
Well, there's no... right now the fuel light looks good, so... should be fine to put out 2 laps.
I think Benny Boy's in a bit of trouble because there's 3 minutes 20 and he's only at the back straight.
He's not pushing it too hard. Got a yellow. It's the Locker. He's letting through Benny Boy.
It's going to be very hard pushed to make it into the pits and back out again with another set of tyres. Hence why I said he should have pitted the lap previously.
Certainly, that's. I was hoping he would have, but he didn't.
He's got to
see if he can find more time, and he's already at the 140 mark, so he's got to pull in now, or he's not going to be able to put up a lap.
Alright, there he goes.
Right.
Hopefully he gets back out in time.
Is he going to have enough time?
Keep an eye on it. Now remember also there is
hot lap now.
Remember also, not saying that he would do this, but there is a rule: you cannot shortcut the track to get round in time. He has to do a clean out lap.
That's correct. Breezy has now started his hot lap too. Grunty has retired from the session in the pits.
Not saying that he would do that. I don't expect him to do that, but yeah.
Shane puts up a 36.7. It's P13 currently. Next man across the line will be Macy Q to start his hot lap. We go to Genghis Logan coming down the backstretch. In the first sector, he improved his lap by almost half a second.
Better. Little sector 7 tenths.
Over
so
3/4 of a second now. How much more time can he find in this final sector is the question. Get a yellow in sector 1. It's for Shane.
Oh, Jenga's gone again.
Oh.
Put the right hand up.
Oh, the McLaren, excuse me, of Veloce came across. Ooh, that could have been bad for both of them. Veloce improves his time by 8 tenths. It's a 35.8. Does not improve his position, though. Shane letting through the Haas of Macy Q. Locker crosses the line, gets P13. A 36.5 for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Anybody's out. He didn't even attempt to go back out the pits again, so Benny's gone.
No. I don't think Benny would have had enough time to if he wanted to anyway.
No. So it's all down to Breezy, who has yet to set a lap. And he's got... No, he's got trouble. He's got barely any ERS. He's got 6%.
Oh, and we've got Locker who's spun around. He's not going to get another chance to improve his lap either. He's invalidated. To the final corner is Macy Q. How much more time can he find on this final lap? It's 4/10. P7 for the Haas. I think he has solidified his safety in this session. Crazy Fish is retired from the session. Angus Logan's invalidated his lap after finding 3/10 in the first sector. Checkered flag waves for Q1. Angus Logan's going to have to hope Crazy does not get a 137, 149 or faster.
He's basically done this lap with less than 10% ERS. He ran out of it on the back straight. So, other than that, he hasn't really made any mistakes on this lap. He's left off the throttle on the triple right-hander into the penultimate corner. Can very easily go wide. I don't know whether this will be enough. It is. It will be enough. He goes through.
35.5. It's P12. Jengus Logan is out of the session. And Shane just barely makes it. Wow. Lache and Locker have both retired in the pits. Shane is actually finding a decent bit of time on this final lap too. He's found well over 3/10 of a second. Oh, and he loses it.
Whoops. Don't get disqualified, Shane. Put the car around. There you go. Alright.
Good news
End
for
of
Shane is he
Q1.
did not need that lap to make an end to Q2. He's made it already. Oh, and he loses the rear end again. His tires are cooked.
You're doing donuts. You're doing donuts already. Not the end of the season yet, Shane. You can do that at the end. It's only round 2. You can't do donuts yet. Gets through though by the skin of his teeth.
That is Q1 officially over. Double. I'm doing good, man. How are you? Oh, you already answered. Never mind. Disregard.
Right, so there's your times. End of Q1. The top 3 separated by just under a tenth. Tornado, Stygian, and Cornish are top 3. And the top 10 covered by half a second, which is great to see.
Oh yeah, going to be very competitive in Q2 and 3, that's for sure.
And unfortunately out Jengus Logan in 16th, Benny Boy in 17th, and of course Camo had the qualifying ban to start from the back. Alright, well Days, pick your driver to ask questions.
Alright, I've already picked. Let's see if he joins. I do not think he is going to join, so we will just head on into Q2.
Who did you pick?
I picked Camo.
Oh. That's weird. I thought he would want to say his opinion on a few things. Huh. Maybe he's focused. Maybe he's focused.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might just want to stay focused on the race.
Right. So Q2, here we go. Getting to the top 10. All on soft tyres, or at least they should be. Because again, I love the fact that no one's is this the best division? From Xander Boy in the chat. Depends on what tier you're driving, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't drive in any tier, so I have a unbiased opinion. F1's meant to be the best because you have the fastest drivers in it. Depends what your definition of best is, really.
For me, the best division is the most competitive division. It doesn't just have the fastest drivers, it has the cleanest drivers, the smartest ones, the guys who make the best strategy calls, the dudes who don't fold under pressure. And without a doubt, the most important thing is how close everyone is to each other, pace-wise. Not just qualifying, but race as well.
I mean, what's the fastest here? Well, this is okay. There we go. He was being more specific and being more an actual proper question. This is tier 2. This is we have 5 tiers in total, all based on pace. They're all tested, time trials and socials, etc. All put into pace. Overall.
So Division 1 obviously has the fastest drivers. Div 2 is the best of the rest. Div 3 is the next group of 20. Div 4 is the next group of 20, and Div 5 is the bottom 20, the guys who are fighting to get higher up in the divisions.
Yeah.
I am personally a Division 5 driver. Quite frankly, the reason is because I am not very fast. I'm a clip driver. I make good enough strategy calls. Not great, but not terrible either. But pure outright pace, I am just not there. As our own Flying Dutchman Stygian puts up a 25-7 in the first sector.
Yeah, not bad. You could say this could be the most interesting tier, because these are the guys that want to be in the top tier. And a lot of the drivers in RSF1 league that we have here, at least 90% of them want to be in the top tier. You want to be in that, into the fastest tier. So
a 103.5 in the first 2 sectors now for Stygian.
Of course, let's not forget we are going to have at least a second season on this game because of the shortened calendar, which means whoever is deemed fastest people in this tier will be promoted into tier 1. Well, that's how it's meant to work anyway. I would assume it would.
I would assume the slowest drivers in each division get dropped.
Yeah. 34.8
across the line. It's 34.8. Not a bad opening lap.
If you don't slow than what he did in Q1, didn't he? I think it was 34.4, wasn't it?
Shane across the line now. It's going to be a 35.8 for the Ferrari.
Stygian got blocked apparently.
34.6 for Matty. Yeah, that explains it. I think it was because of the Alpine on the inside of the, I want to say turn 16, turn 15. I'm not sure. There's like 20 corners here, 21 corners. It's kind of hard to keep track of them all, to be honest.
Above the Cornish, just going through the triple right-hander. Very easy to get this wrong, especially during the race. Especially with the whole new tyre pressure patch that they did.
34.2.
Flexing his muscles. Here comes his teammate, who goes 34.2.
34.2 as well. 1/100th separates the 2 AlphaTauri teammates.
They're doing it again, Days. They did this in Mexico.
Certainly did. They're showing off their qualifying pace.
Flexing their pace muscles is what they're doing. Christ. Of course, if you remember Days actually, the 2 AlphaTauris, Cornish actually helped Grunty in the final qualifying session, even hampered his, Quirky spun. Sorry, Quirky spun at the
Quirky was one of the faster guys last week.
Yeah. Yeah, Cornish even hampered his own qualifying to try and get Grunty pole. Grunty ended up second. It shows the teamwork between the two. Definitely a good pairing.
Certainly, especially despite pre-season rumors about these two not liking each other. So far, your qualifying times right now. The AlphaTauri teammates at Grunty and Cornish P1 and 2 with a 34.2 each. 34.3 for Steffi as he gets P3. 34.6 for Maddie. 34.7 for Crazy Fish. 34.8. 35.8. Almost a whole second between 6th and 7th. Really an interesting gap there. RSF1 Shane in 35.8. P8 for him. P9 for Locker, who's got a 36.0 and a 36.1 for the Red Bull of Arash Alonso. Next man across the line will be Valache. Doesn't seem like he's on an absolute banger, though. He's already at a 35.
Going to slow lap, things building up the tyres.
I gotta assume that's what's going on with him. Tornado coming through the final corner. Let's see what he can put up. Maybe a 34.1, and he takes pole here.
Very nice. It's still close at the top days, which is what we like to see. We don't want somebody who's half a second quicker than everybody else.
Totally not. Less than a 10th between first and second now.
I think Cornish will be on a bit of redemption days, because if you remember, he spent most of the race 2 laps down because of all this stuff that happened to him in the first lap, and he got safety cars and he couldn't regain the laps. So I think he's on a bit of a redemption race on this one.
Certainly hope so for his sake and for his team's sake. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an AlphaTauri driver.
There you are. There's a little bit of
Eagle
it
in the Alpine puts up a 34.8. It's P7 for him. You've got Valache, who's coming through the second sector now. Doesn't look like he's going to improve on this lap, though. He lets the Mercedes of Quirky Turtle through. We move over to Shane, who's on the end of his outlap. Almost loses the rear end out of the penultimate corner. He's starting his hot lap now. Grunty is retired in the pits. He is already satisfied with his lap.
Evening, Aaron.
Meanwhile, Tornado has run out of fuel, which explains the yellow flags. We got a yellow for Valache, who breaks his front wing on the pit entry.
Ooh.
Good news is he didn't crash out.
It's quite a tricky pit lane entry, isn't it? It's kind of narrow on the entrance. You could very easily get actually a quarter cut penalty as you go over the inside curb on that one. So be very careful.
You've got to be very smart heading into that pit entry.
Working Turtle already last week showed his pace getting the pole position only just over Grunty. Was less than the 10th last week. The way it's going at the moment, it could be quite another close qualifying session in Q3 as he goes again on that back straight. You get to see the sun right in our eyes. That is exactly what the drivers are seeing as well.
And Shane has just invalidated his lap. Go again if he wants to improve, or he's going to have to come into the pits and get a new set of tires. That's what he's going to do. He's going to come into the pits.
This looks like a very good lap from Quirky so far. We've already had a spin at this corner. So a lot better this time.
And Tornado comes into the pits and he is retired from the session.
Going in the top from Quirky.
See, 34.2, 1/1000th of a second ahead of Cornish. It's P3 for the Mercedes. Once again, seems to be carrying his team.
Yeah, where's the other Mercedes? Who's it meant to be with him? Oh, Slivery. The Slivery wasn't racing tonight, and nobody picked the Mercedes from the reserves, so the lone Mercedes tonight.
Yep.
Alright, just going to give you a quick rundown of last week's results in Mexico for those that missed it. If you did miss it, of course, you can watch all the races on YouTube. They have all been uploaded if you want to watch the race in its entirety, but just to run down the results. Grunty in the AlphaTauri took the race victory. Pretty much led 90% of the race despite 3 safety cars, or 3 or 4. So very nice from him. Second was Quirky Turtle. Quirky started on the pole, dropped back because of the safety cars dismissing with the strategy, to be honest, but still came home in second. Rounding off the podium was Steffi Weffy Gamer in the Ferrari. P4 went to Stygian in the Williams, and it was a double points finish, a double decent points finish for Williams, with 5th for Jenga Logan. 6th was Crazy Fish in the Red Bull. 7th.
Speaking of Stygian, he just crossed the line and got P6 with a 34.306.
Oh my god. Very close to the top. 7th was Breezy in the Aston, followed by Christian in the McLaren 8th. 9th was Eagle in the Alpine. Had a very tricky race because he's another one that the pace showed a lot better than his position. And 10th, rounding up the last point, and he was very happy with that point, was Mr. Locker in the Alfa Romeo.
I certainly would have liked having a point last week, but I think we all know the story by now of why I did not get points last week. Oh! Riding along with Valache, loses, almost lost the rear end completely out of the hairpin at the top of the track.
Weird place to kind of have a loose rear end of that one.
Certainly not unheard of, though.
Yeah. Right, so who's outside the top 10?
You leave her alone. Dang pets, man.
So,
the cats and dog will not leave each other alone.
Oh, there's a Haas off.
It's Macy Q. He was getting off the track to get out of the way of Valache.
Okay, it's the final corner. This will be one of the last opportunities for Valache to get through.
Are they going to get the line? It's going to be a 35-4. He's on the bubble. He's knocked Macy Q out, who's just crossed the line. Stygian diving into the pits, and the man right behind him is Locker, who'll be starting his hot lap now.
Oh,
Maddie has crashed. What
Oh.
happened? It's Maddie. Stygian retires in the pits, and we got another yellow. It's for Prix, and he's invalidated. That explains it.
I just missed where Maddie
Maddie
went
is
off. That
out.
was a big shame.
Yeah, right at the very beginning of Sector 2 is where he crashed out. Got less than a minute now to cross the line. Everyone on a hot lap, except Steffi.
Oh,
Everybody
Shane!
else
Shane's gone again.
Oh, hate to see it. Arash Alonso is invalidated his lap. He doesn't have enough time or fuel. He's going to have to pull into the pits and retire the car. That's an unfortunate end to the Red Bull of Arash Alonso session. Does not look like Valache is going to be able to improve his lap, and I don't think he's going to have enough time to put up another lap, even if he could.
I think Orphan in the chat is digging a big hole for himself, Dace, if you see the comment there. Shane is gone. Shane is retired.
You know, I certainly would like some extra fuel this week. I certainly would.
Yeah.
Macy Q crossing line. He's going to put up another lap. No, he's not. He missed it. He missed it by maybe a second. Oh, the heartbreak. Oh, I cannot imagine the heartbreak. Locker across the line is going to put up a 35.9. It's not enough to even improve his position, let alone. Oh, that's getting to Q3. That's unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo. Breezy is the last guy to hope to improve his position. Cross the line to 35.2, and he does! He does! It's P9 for the Aston Martin. Crazy Fish will be the last man to cross the line. Can he put up anything? No, he's definitely not putting up anything. I think he's satisfied with what he's got. He's in Q3. He does not care at this point. But Breezy gets P9 at the last second, and Valache will miss out by the slimmest of margins.
In a bit. Valache missed out.
I say slimmest of margins, I just realized he's actually 8 tenths back on Maddie.
Matty's time is a bit weird because he crashed, remember? It was,
Oh no, he still had it. He still had a 34.6 versus Maddie's 35.4. Yeah.
It's more to Breezy's time. The game does this when somebody crashes. Yeah. Looks weird.
Well, he would be P8 had he not crashed.
Ooh. Would have been fine. Out in Q2 is Matty in the Alfa Romeo, which means we're going to have 9 in Q3. Veloce in 11th, Mesa Q12, Shane 13th, Blocker 14th, Arash Alonso 15th. Which one are you picking this time? Let's hope they join as well.
I certainly hope so too. It doesn't look like he's going to though.
Who'd you pick this time?
Matty.
Give him a bit of time. Oh, the one that crashed.
He'd have been P8 if he didn't put in that final run. If he would have just taken it easy.
Yeah. Give me a try.
Last week, Stygian was the man who tried to put in an extra run. This week, it's Matty.
Maybe join some my invite, see whether that works. I mean, it's up to them at the end of the day. I mean, here we go into the Q3.
We've got
top 9
Tornado, Cornish, Grunty, Stygian, Eagle, Crazy Fish, Steffi, Breezy, and Quirky. First man out of the pits this time is going to be Breezy again. First one out in Q1, first one out in Q3.
I didn't realise, Days, that Breezy, for the second session in a row, was the last person to cross the line and scrape through to the next part. He's the
You got to wonder whether he's been sandbagging on his first runs.
possibly.
And that's why he's getting so good at the end of qualifying. I mean, that's what that's what I'm thinking. It's what I usually do in quali. I put in a base lap and then I put in my real lap. Most of the time I invalidate both times, or I invalidate on my hot lap.
Ooh.
So that's just the kind of luck I have.
Who's...
Only man still in the pits is the Alpine of Eagle.
Yeah, wants some space, I think, Eagle. Who's your money on, Days? Because we had the top 6 covered by a 10th in Q2. So, take your pick. From any one of these 9. This could be anyone's. Whoever hooks up the
You know, I'm thinking Tornado. Tornado was... I'm pretty sure Tornado got pulled last week, and he's just shown that he has got monstrous.
Got pulled last week.
Quirky. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Quirky could be a good number 2 pick, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't forget about these AlphaTauris. These boys do not lack in quali pace.
No. Stygian's been constantly up there all throughout every session so far as well, so...
Yeah, it's a toss-up. It's a coin flip, but like you said, 6 guys within a 10th of each other.
What you like to see, but here it goes. Who's going to hook up the lap? Who's going to lay it all down on the line? The first one's a Q3. I'm going to join with Grunty, and then I'm going to switch to Cornish to see compare sector times. 25.5 from Grunty. 25.6 from Cornish. So already, Grunty has a 10th over his teammate. And the back straight again. Still, sunlight right in the eyes. Go down.
I'm shocked some of these guys can even see the breaking point.
Yeah.
103.2 for Breezy through the first 2 sectors.
3-1 from Grunty and a 3-2 from Cornish. This is all very close to the front 3 already.
Yeah, very, very close between these first 3 drivers. I think this first hot lap is going to come down to the slimmest of margins. I'd say maybe a couple thousandths, couple hundredths of a second.
Yeah, all about the last sector. Comes Breezy. to 34.3. It's a decent lap, actually. Got off with 34.1.
Grunty, 34.1, and Cornish, a 34.2. So 2 tenths between the top three. Station with a 35.0. And Tornado invalidated his last lap and this lap, so I think he's just going to be pulling into the pits at the end of this lap. Corky a 34.5. It's P4 for the Mercedes.
Steffi in the Ferrari. Matty in the chat, very annoyed with himself, apparently. Keep your head up, mate. Still got the race to go. Steffi!
34.0. Almost a full tenth ahead of Grunty.
Hello. We were talking about the AlphaTauris and the Mercedes and Stygian. Forgot about a Ferrari in the mix as well.
And Eagle crossed the line. It's a 35.3. Moving out of the way of the two AlphaTauris. The AlphaTauris have invalidated. Doesn't look like they're going to be putting up laps anyway.
No. Well.
Tornado is invalidated as well. Porky's not putting up a lap. He's way down on his time. Eagle doesn't look like he's going to be improving either. He's over a second down right now. Crazy Fish already back out on the track for his hot lap. Hot lap, I meant out lap.
Must have invalidated his first run and then thought, go again.
He did. He definitely did.
Then you press the wrong button on my TV screen. Sorry for the lag there on the stream. Crazy Fish is going to have pretty much the track to himself. Only the Alpine of Eagle who's heading into the pit. So Crazy Fish, all eyes will be on him. Actually taking on board a lap of Austin, Texas, circuit of the Americas. Nearly losing it on the penultimate corner.
Man, he came real close.
Right, here we go. Across the start, finish line, up to turn one. The rise up to the top of the hill. The first lap is going to be very, very interesting. Might see a couple of lunges into the first corner, which really tightens on the entrance. And then back down the hill from turn two, completely flat out, and then with just a lovely section of corners. If you can get it right, it's so tricky to get it right and quick at the same time. And keep it clean.
Like Crazy Fish is getting it though. 25.7 through the first sector.
Nicely flowing through here. The last two are very, very tricky, especially with the traction up and over the top of the hill. Maybe some laps so far. Now on to the brakes for this hairpin. And very easy to get it wrong, but you've got to get it right because you've got this very long back straight. Go up and over the crest, past the Ferris wheel on the left hand side. They're down into the braking zone. Another great overtaking opportunity. Lunges and dive bombs aplenty. You might see there. Mind the curves on the outside, which have been added on this game. Nicely through the middle sector. And then this double right hand is very easy to lose the car. That corner there is very deceiving. You can think you can lunge up on the inside, but you can see on the exit it gets very, very narrow. And then this triple right hander, which on this game now, with the whole tyre pressures, is very tricky to handle, but he's doing this lap very, very good. This might actually feature towards the top. The 34.4, 5th place.
E5 for Crazy Fish.
Nice solid lap from Crazy Fish, gets in the mix. With 3.5 minutes to go, we've also got Tornado out early, and the rest are just waiting and biding their time.
gonna wait until the last moment. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
You want to exit your garage with about no more than 3 minutes flat.
Yeah. The Mercedes coming out. The low Mercedes are quirky. He's half a second off pole. Remember the guy that took pole last week? I think I remember him saying he was kind of looking forward to this race as well.
Got a few more exiting the pits. Steffi.
Oh,
Breezy.
Tornado's lost it.
Oh. Gonna have to get himself turned around.
Lucky to keep it out the wall.
Very. Downside is that he's on his hot lap right now, and that's definitely not going to help him.
Yeah, he's lucky to
take
keep
it
it out.
pretty easy on these tires right now until he gets to his hot lap, but next hot lap.
He was lucky to keep it out of the wall, because if he had got damaged, that would definitely wouldn't have got another lap. But he may be fortunate enough to get another one. Got to regroup.
Last man out of the pits is Grunty with 2 minutes left in the session now.
And Crazyfish is not going to head back out in time, because the most annoying thing, which they still haven't changed, is he's got to be wheeled back into the garage. You can see the pit crew doing it. I wish you could just go into the, like you would do in a race, just change your tyres and then back out again. It would save so much time. They do that,
it certainly
right?
would.
They don't wheel them back into the garage.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do, but if they want to go quick, they are able to just put on another fresh set of tyres and then away they go. On this game, gonna wait and then back out again.
Tornado now doing another hot lap. Let's see if he can put hook this up perfectly. Get yellows for Stygian. Going a little slow through the right-hander.
Yeah, he's building himself up. Quirky is going to be the first one of these runs.
Tornado spun again.
Same place, more or less.
Yeah, not far off. Gotta watch out. He's got Steffi right behind him on a hot lap. He's improved in his first sector for sure, so just gets right out of the way.
Quirky's only finding a 10th at the moment, which will get him a couple of positions, but not challenging the front row at this point, as he pulls up on almighty last sector. Time is gone.
So 102.9 for Steffi in the first two sectors.
Quirky.
Steffi finding a little over a 10th of a second right now.
Quirky goes to third.
For now. Through the penultimate corner now. Steffi, how much more time can he find in this final sector? Through the final corner now. Opens the DRS into the line. It's a 33.70 final.
Wow.
Almost 3/10 on that final lap. Breezy, 34.0. Eagle, a 34.3. Cornish finding a 10th, but it's 134.1. It's not enough to improve his position. Although it's still showing him as a 134.2. He may have invalidated his lap. Grunty invalidated his final lap, and that'll be it for him.
He invalidated the last corner.
That's unfortunate. He wasn't improving on his lap anyway when he came across. He lost about a 10th and a half. So the bad pole was one of only two drivers who completely ignored its Steffi.
Fantastic lap from him. But the biggest surprise for me here, Days, is again Breezy. scraped through Q1 with 1 lap, scraped through Q2 with 1 lap, just to get in the session, and he's popped it on the front row. Great stuff. Right, take it away, Days. Our pole sitter is here.
Steffi, you were one of the few drivers we completely disrespected by not predicting you as a pole sitter. How do you feel to be on the top step to start
I feel
this race?
good. I feel really good. This is good because before last race I was quite disappointed because the pace just wasn't there. But now it's like, now I found a way. You know, I got a foundation. So I think this is good, like a good starting point. So hopefully I could take the victory. And yeah, that'll be good.
Oh, well, phenomenal start to this race tonight. I hope you get whatever you're looking for tonight, man.
Thanks.
It looks like this race is going to start off nice and dry. Not many clouds. So good luck tonight, Steffi.
Well, not already.
And I'm seeing in the chat that Tornado had a 33.3 in the first run. I'm guessing he either invalidated it or he's or something. Stygian said he also invalidated a 33.7. Wow. That has got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah. The only thing I would say, Tornado, is that what was the F1 poll yesterday?
33. What was it? 33.2?
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily admit you could have done a 33.3 Tornado. Muddy Biscuit is in the chat, so
I'm not gonna say that he couldn't because I don't know Tornado like that, but he's doing a 33.3 then.
Alright, so because we don't have a formation lap, I'm going to quickly run you through the grid. So front row is going to be Steffi Weffy in the Ferrari on pole position, very happy with it, with Breezy in the Aston alongside. Grunty in third, last week's race winner, with Quirky Turtle will finish second in Mexico. They are starting on the second row together, third and fourth. Cornish is the other side of the Mercedes, driving the Mercedes sandwich, with AlphaTauri layers of bread. Cornish in 5th place. Eagle in 6th in the Alpine. Crazy Fish 7th, we've already readied up. Stygian in 8th in the Williams. 9th for Tornado in the Alpine. 10th for Maddie. 11th for Loche. 12th Mesa Q. 13th Shane. Locker 14th. Arash Alonso 15th. Jengas 16th. Benny Boy 17th. And Camo with his qualifying ban 18th.
So Maddie said in the Discord, I don't know if you saw this, but he said he can't do the party.
Yeah,
that's why he didn't join.
I saw that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, we're gonna go straight into it. No hanging
3,
about.
4, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go here for the United States Grand Prix. Oh, Steffi getting a terrible start. We got the AlphaTauri on the outside of him going around on the soft tires. And Grunty is into the lead.
Soft tires.
We got yellows behind. It's for Jengas.
Yeah, great stuff in the AlphaTauris, and Steffi just got swamped. I think he just...
Oh, Grunty nearly losing the rear end.
Just spun up the rears too much. The Ferrari driver's Cornish is all over the back of him.
Yeah, Cornish bumped into the back of Steffi, nearly lost the rear end completely.
Side move. Wants to make the move already on the soft tyres. There's an interesting choice on the softs. Everybody else is either on medium or hard tyres. So he's got to get the move done now.
We've only got 2 hard runners. Everyone is on the mediums pretty much, except for Alonso, Stygian, and Cornish. Cornish going with the biggest gamble of them all. He's got to hope a safety car comes out in the first 4 or 5 laps. Otherwise, those tires are going to fall off a cliff. I mean, almost literally fall off a cliff, I should say.
Camo from the back of the grid has had a demon start. He's up 8 places. He's 10th from 18th. I don't know if he's on that.
It doesn't seem like that quali ban affected him much as he spins.
Oh, and
he's out. Him and Locker have both crashed into each other. Out. Jengas and Benny Boy. missed him by millimeters. Oh, and we got the McLaren of Veloce, who's also spun out of the penultimate corner. Now, unfortunately, Cornish misses out on pitting there.
I am so sorry. That is the worst commentator's curse I've ever done. I've done a few in my time, but that is... Oh,
That
Sweden
is-
Star spins in the next corner,
Yeah,
gets taken
that
out by
was-
the unfortunate locker.
That was quite... That was... I'm not an Alfa Romeo or an Aston driver, but I'm sick to my stomach from how bad I feel about that.
Ouch.
So Aston Martin's hopes now lie on the shoulders of Breezy. Alfa Romeo's hopes lying with Matty now.
Well, you said Cornish needed a safety car, and here he has it, but is it too late though? I mean, not too late, too early.
Too early. It's certainly
Ooh.
too early. He needed at least another lap or two before that came out. Unfortunately, it just came out at the worst time. Good news for him is that this safety car will probably come in at the end of this lap because of how everyone's already right here in a line.
So in terms of other positions gained, Tornado's had a decent start, up three spots. Arash Alonso up 2, Benny Boy up 3. Biggest losers, Veloce with that spin in the penultimate corner, and Steffi, who just...
I'd certainly say the biggest losers are the guys who crashed out.
Yeah, that too.
Positions lost, of course, not quite, but... I mean, literally halfway through lap 1, or... Yeah, almost done with lap 1, and then they just crash out. I know what that feeling is like.
Yeah.
At this track especially, I qualified up pole here in a different league, and literally turn 2, lap 2, I spun and crashed out.
We have another lap under the safety car.
Will. Doesn't look like anyone's going to go for the pits.
I think that's the reason it stayed out a lap, even though they were bunched together. Just give the opportunity for people to pit if they wanted to, and as you say, no one is doing so. So that was pointless. But anyway.
You certainly do, Stars Orphan. I mean, he sat here for about an hour waiting for qualifying to be over, and for his night to end like that is just gut-wrenching.
And it's nothing Locke could have done either. Just completely unsighted, because he was behind several other cars, and Camo was right in the middle of the track. And
yeah, I think Locker probably saw other people moving out of the way, and he was like, okay, I guess I'll just stay here, and as soon as he saw why, it was already too late.
yeah. Interestingly, Stygian decided to go on the hard tyres right at the start, as has Arash Alonso. Alonso was outside the top 10 anyway, so that made sense. Stygian 8th is an interesting one, but with this safety car that actually might benefit him because it keeps the medium tyre runners and the soft one of Cornish in check. As long as they don't get too far away from him, he could be interesting at the end of the race. Because this really is a one-stop days again, isn't it? Medium to hards. I don't know why Cornish is on the soft tyres, but hey-ho.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna assume he might head on to the hards. Doesn't really have a choice. With the safety car coming out this early, the hard runners might be able to go hard to softs. My keyword there.
Maybe.
Safety car, of course, is going to be in this lap, making Grunty the effective safety car.
On this restart, I would imagine Cornish has to clear Breezy as soon as possible.
Oh, certainly. He's got to catch out Breezy and hope Cornish at the same time absolutely swamps him on the restart. Being that his teammate's on the softs, that could happen.
And it's going to go. Safety car is now in the pit, so he can go now if he wants. Still bunching them up. Still waiting. Still waiting. He's going to go to the exit of the last corner. Yep. Away he goes.
Didn't catch him out at all, though.
not even a little bit. In fact, Breezy might have a shot at overtaking him here. Steffi got caught out by about a light year, though. He is absolutely hemorrhaging time on this restart. Running on board with Cornish to see these top three fight.
Crazy all over Grunty like a rash. And she maintains the lead. I think everyone else pretty much stay position. Tornado and Quirky going side by side. Quirky's still down in 7th at the moment, getting a bit shuffled.
Cornish has got to hope to pass Breezy here at this corner at the end of the straight. He can't afford to stay behind anybody, not even his own teammate, if he wants these softs to have any amount of effectiveness.
Here comes Stygian on the hard tyres. Remember, he's all over the back of May. Just absolutely perfect for Stygian. He just keeps in this pack. It'll be quite interesting. He's got to keep it up though. He's got Macy Q behind him as well. All very close. This midfield. Cornish again. He's got to get by Breezy. He's looking for a Vanny outside penultimate corner.
They touched.
Breezy. Breezy gave him no room. Oh, and again.
Anything.
In the last corner, gave him a car switch this time, but this is allowing Grunty to pull away a little bit.
Grunty is just flying away with the lead.
Got into turn 1. There's a big lunge. Gets it stopped. Nice. Now he's got to pull away.
Looks like Cornish has gotten P2. Cornish and Breezy fighting. Steffi has caught back up to these guys. Before they even entered turn 1, Steffi was behind by over a second. He's now right on the gearbox of the Aston and Breezy. We got it yellow. It's for Valache. He's lost his front wing.
Oh, not again.
Still in the race, though.
Steffi with that Ferrari.
Oh.
Breeze past Breezy. Oh, that's what I just did. Into 3rd, though. I'll be a little bit disgruntled about that start, Steffi, I think. But he has shown the pace. Bit of a wiggle, though.
Cornish is catching his teammate. He's 1.7 seconds back. After he overtook Breezy, he's now only 1 second back. He's caught by 7/10 in about 2/3 of a lap.
Yeah.
I'd say about a lap by now.
With a pack behind Breezy. It's a Breezy trade all the way back to 11th place of Macy Q.
Breezy is in 4th.
Look at all trainer cars here, which again has Stygian and Nat Williams in the hard tyres. Valache's in the pits. There's a bit of a gap to Shane in 12th and Alonso, Benny Boy and Genghis.
I just heard what you said. Okay, never mind.
Huh?
For a moment I was confused on what you said. I was like, wait, what? I thought you said Breezy was in 11th. I was like, hold on now.
No.
I was like, something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but it's not right.
It's a train from 4th to 11th.
Gotcha. Actually, technically 3rd to 11th.
Yeah.
Steffi's starting to catch up to Cornish. Gotta wonder whether Grunty will drop back just a bit to give Cornish DRS here.
Possibly. I mean, could say that Cornish's soft tyres are just started to wear off.
Oh, he did!
No.
I think he did. Might want to change off those tires. We got another guy who spun. It's Shane.
Oh, again.
And another yellow
on the opposite end of the track for Valache, who's spun off again. Doesn't look like he's got damage, though. He's fine. It might just be the new tires he's on. He's on new hards, so certainly not going to be having the most fun of times. We've now got a DRS train from 2nd to 11th. As Tornado gets by Quirky in the S's. I don't know how he did that. They may have been side by side.
Yeah, that caught me off guard a little bit.
Well, Grunty continuing to pull away here.
Oh, spin! Cornish again!
It's Cornish again, no!
Oh, get off those soft tires.
Yeah, his tires are gone now. You know, Valache's crashed out. Is that going to be a safety car?
There's no one near. No one near the crash, because I think that's how the game works. Someone goes into the yellow flag,
stay green here.
Yeah. That's a shame for Valache. Didn't have a good fun time last week in Mexico, just not got to grips yet. Did we get into that yellow flag though with Grunty? We are. He's way off the track though.
Yeah, I don't know what he did there to crash out all the way over there.
Oh, another spin!
Here we are.
Oh, we're all spread out.
It's Tornado this time. He's gonna get off the track. Rock down to P12. Tornado to 13th now.
I think Cornish had another sort of mini spin as well.
Cornish is pitting, and so is Tornado.
There's cars off in every direction. It's going to split the train a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. And Tornado is retired from the session.
Tornado.
Already?
Nah.
Already?
It's only lap 8.
Wow. Just like that. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, it's up to you at the end of the day, but I never like when somebody retires too early, and this kind of still is.
I mean, it's only lap 8. He very well could have gotten it. He still very well could have gotten the podium. He's got the pace for it.
Ooh, remember what happened last week? We had 3 safety cars. We've already had one today.
And 3 safety cars and 1 virtual. Or like maybe 2 virtuals. I can't honestly remember. There were so many.
Ooh. So that has split up the train a bit. So you've got Grunty, 2.5 seconds of Steffi, who's 2.5 seconds ahead of Breezy. Who's got Eagle now behind him. That was the 3rd.
And then Quirky in 5th is almost about 2 seconds back on Eagle. And then it's a DRS train from 5th to 9th. So DRS train is very much broken up by now.
Pigeon trying to get by Macy Q.
After just being passed by Macy Q.
Gonna go around the outside penultimate corner. Macy Q gives him space, and that's a lovely move from Stygian. Is he gonna get DRS though? I don't think he... No, he doesn't. And even as Macy Q,
Macy
how
Q
did that
doesn't
work?
get it. They must have been fighting a bit too much. They dropped way too much time to Maddie, and now they're gonna have to catch back up. They want to get back in that DRS train. No, it's not ideal, but it's certainly better than being outside of the DRS.
Stygian is about 10 seconds off the lead at the moment. That's a very decent gap that he's still got. And those hard tyres are then going to get better each lap. A very solid race pace at the moment. Could be one to watch towards the end. This is similar story days, isn't it? Grunty in the lead, managing the gap. It's not as big as gap as last week. He's got Steffi there, who's kind of recovering from that start.
Yeah, he's caught him a little bit over the last lap and a half, but not a lot. Only about 3 or 4 tenths.
Cornish is the only one that has pitted. He's already onto the hard tyres. Could probably go to the end. I mean, that'd be horrible at the end, but I think he would be alright. Still in this race. Oh, yellow flag! Steffi!
No! No, not Steffi. Oh, you hate to see it for him now.
I think these guys may have. A lot of these spins might be tire pressure related. Gotta remember about tire pressures. You have them too high, you're gonna be all over the place.
You gotta have them so low. It's ridiculous.
Pretty much minimum for a race.
At a track like this, I would have said very, very minimum on all 4 tires. You've got to have them.
I would have done minimums for sure. When I do my race tomorrow, I'm having them on minimum, maybe even for quali too.
What you should do, I think, for every race now, especially with this new patch, which is still relatively new to us, still quite fresh, let's do a practice session, a Grand Prix, set up a Grand Prix, and then just do a practice session, even for like 20 minutes, and like test out the tire pressures, because
Horner's the first man with 3 seconds. Yeah, no, I did that for Mexico, and that's how I knew to do my tire pressures as low as I could go. Unfortunately, I did not pick up on the fuel part of that, but, you know, do not worry, I am all about it this week.
He goes into second.
Your brother's in his room, probably.
So now because
That's
of
one of my co-commentators here.
Now, because of that spin for Steffi, Grunty has a 6-second lead over now the battling Eagle and Breezy, and the question would be, now that Eagle's got by Breezy, can he pull away from Breezy and start bringing Grunty a challenge? Because that's the biggest disappointment for me as a neutral with that spin for Steffi. Steffi was kind of there with Grunty, and I'm not sure whether Eagle can catch at the moment. Steffi is in the pits. Breezy is not... Well, Breezy is latched onto the back of Eagle, not giving up that second place at all. Genghis is all over the back of Benny Boy's. Cornish picks up another 3-second time penalty. He's on 6 seconds and nobody else is on 1. So here comes Genghis with the DRS, and easy does it. Past Benny Boy into 9th. You right there, Daves? Lost him for a little bit, but lovely overhead helicopter shot. This time now Quirky's latched onto the back of this battle for second place. Is Breezy going to go for a lunge into turn 1? No, not close enough. Now, I was right initially. Eagle, I don't think, has the pace to catch Grunty. He's more focused on trying to keep Breezy behind. They weave their way through the first sector. And you have a time penalty now.
Second time penalty of the race so far. As Steffi going to gain a place off Genghis. Hopefully for Steffi, he'll be able to catch back up to these guys. Maybe get a virtual safety car to help him out a little bit.
Breezy back on the DRS of Eagle. Gonna go for an outside move. And the hairpin.
Makes it stick.
Nice. This is all playing into the hands of the AlphaTauri driver of Grunty. He's 7 seconds up the road. He's in another dimension at the moment.
Absolutely.
As at the moment, though, can all very easily change, as we've seen before for many of these drivers. Crazy Fish is quietly doing his business there, Days, as well. He's up there in 5th place as Eagle pits.
Yeah, Eagle is going to get the undercut on these two. Does Grunty respond to this lap, or does he go to another one?
He's got so much of a gap, Grunty. He's basically managing it. He can pit whenever he wants. So, where does Eagle comes out right behind Shane, who's yet to pit, but ahead of Cornish. He's 3.5 seconds off ahead of Cornish. Remember, pitted very early on, so Cornish is still in this for points, possibly. Okay, so those are pitted. Eagle, eyes to those that have pitted, hard tyres to the end, as of Cornish, Mason Hughes, Steffi, Jengis and Mediboy.
Grunty in the pits. And
Oh,
we got a
Maddie's
yellow
spun.
for Maddie.
Oh, that's into the wall, I think. Wing damage, give me a different camera angle, please. There's
Corky's gonna
Grunt,
stretch it longer.
Grunty pits. Breezy, Crazy Fish pits as well. Maddie's in as well. Most drivers actually in the pits. Eagle right in the middle of it all. Stays ahead of Crazy Fish and might be on the back of Breezy. Remember, these two were fighting before they pitted. And Breezy's sides are going to be absolutely freezing cold. Look here, look at the grip that he doesn't have. And Eagle's going to be pushing in. We're going to go full lunge now. Oh, it's a Cornish. No, Cornish is out.
Cornish is out. It's a virtual safety car.
No, it's full safety car. It's the yellow dot. There might have been contact with Crazy Fish. They were close to one another.
Stygian will be able to pit onto the mediums. He's going to be in a very good spot for the end of this race. Ditto Arash Alonso.
Oh yeah, goodness, yeah. Those that haven't pitted are going to be great. I wonder if where's Quirky going to come out on all this as well? Surely he has to pit. He does. Right, so what's going to happen here? Grunty's going to retain the lead. Where is Stygian and Quirky going to be? They're going to be second and third. They're second and third. They're going massively over this. Look at that.
Oh yeah, Stygian's in a very good spot right now.
Whoa. Stygian's benefiting massively. Quirky as well, because he would have dropped back a fair few. So they've jumped Breezy, Eagle, Crazy Fish and all that. And Hards for Shane gets him out in 12th.
How are these tires, medium tires that Stygian is on, how are they going to feel at the end though? It's going to be the question.
We saw in F1 yesterday, didn't we? We saw... I think he's fine. Because we saw, how long was it? 16, 17 laps? Mediums could go for F1. But I think he's fine.
It also depends on his setup though and how he drives these medium tires. Because if he doesn't get through Quirky and Grunty quickly,
If he gets stuck behind him, he could be in an awkward spot towards the end. On the other hand, if he gets through him quickly, he should be fine.
He's got to be...
Longest I've made a set of mediums go, I believe, is about 16 laps. And after 12, they fall off a cliff.
Belgium will also have a better opportunity to restart as you have a quicker warm-up. Correct, Muddy. Yes, the hards are absolutely ridiculous on a restart. Especially if they're still so cold. You've got to get them up to about 82 degrees at least, and that requires a lot of weaving, a lot of revving up the rear tyres as well. We're going to have at least another lap.
Oh yeah, because on these restarts, if you're on hards, you want to, more than anything, you want your hard tires to be the hotter ones. Because it's great, it's fine if you got front grip, but if you don't have rear grip on these tires on restarts, you are in the mud.
Arash Alonso is another one. 10th place at the moment. I had a horde of those on the hard tyres, so he'll be looking to make moves right at the beginning. What can both of them do on the medium tyres? This is a great opportunity for Stygian to... I know I've done a horrible commentator's curse already, days, but I think podium at least for Stygian. At least it's a big opportunity. Narrowly missed out on the podium last week, and you get it this one.
Yeah, I can imagine the Flying Dutchman's definitely going to be looking to rectify his mistakes from last week.
And ahead of him, though, are the two that finished first and second in that order last week of Grunty and Quirky. Be anxious to keep momentum.
Forgive my lack of speaking the last few minutes. I've been eating.
That's cool.
I just finished.
Gotta eat, so not a problem.
But this race is definitely shaping up to have an exciting finish right now.
Yeah, anything can happen right here.
And I am all for it, ladies and gents. I am all for it.
I hope in if you don't mind me throwing out an American reference. Oh, Alonso, no.
Oh, what happened to him? Oh no, he got a 5-second penalty.
I
hope
think I know.
he sends in a clip for that.
Yeah, I think I know what's happened there, because him and Shane briefly changed positions, and I think by mistake, because he was meant to be in 10th anyway, and the game's given him a penalty, so he might.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's got to be removed.
As long as he doesn't pit.
I was going to say, as long as he doesn't pit.
Right, I'm going to be on board with Stygian, because if he wants to win this race, he's got to pass Quirky very, very soon. Do not let Grunty get ahead. And speaking of letting him get ahead...
Grunty! Oh, he caught out Quirky by a mile. Wow. Stygian is right on Quirky's gearbox. He can smell what he had for breakfast this morning, ladies and gents. He is not taking no for an answer. He smells blood in the water.
Close, but not close enough. Now he's got to stay behind him for the whole of this S section.
Well, Breezy dropped about a light year back on Stygian. He is nowhere to be found. Breezy fish about the same gap between him and Breezy as there is for Breezy and Stygian. Breezy, speaking of, he just got a 3-second time penalty. That is his first of the race.
His first penalty in ages, I think. He rarely gets one.
I don't think he had one last week. Of course, I could be wrong on that. If I am, please tell me so. But I genuinely don't remember him having a penalty last week.
Yeah, as I said, he rarely gets one.
Since that restart, Quirky is caught back up to Grunty by about 0.2. It's not a lot, but it's enough to stay in the DRS, and that's all you really look for.
Yeah, Quirky's not allowing Grunty to get away, which, from a neutral commentator's perspective, We want a battle for the win all the way down to the end. It's not what Grunty wanted.
Oh,
he had a
certainly.
very comfortable lead before this.
Regardless of what team you like, which team you're on, which driver you like, or which guy's your teammate, you definitely want to see a fight to the very end. You got a yellow for Arash Alonso and Shane.
Maybe some
May
shenanigans.
have had some contact, or may have had some contact, I should say, in the penultimate corner there.
Shenanigans, possibly.
Possibly. Back to the leaders. Once again, right behind Quirky. As I said during the safety car, he's got to make his moves soon. Being stuck in dirty air for the final 12 or so laps is definitely not going to be his idea of fun. Certainly not his tires.
I've not seen a lot of pace difference at the moment from Sijin. From his
Well,
to the hard
certainly
tires.
pulled away from Breezy, but since pulling away on that restart, he hasn't pulled too much of a gap.
Not dead, yeah, probably. Tires heated up. He's burning ERS compared to the other two that were ahead of him.
Oh yeah, he's
definitely
a lot
trying.
more ERS.
There it could be a matter of time, though, as he's
He's
looking for a
He's going to the
lunge.
inside. No, not there.
Oof.
If he had kept his nose in it, I think he would have taken himself Quirky out.
Wing
And or
damage as
Quirky
well.
out. Oh, very well, would have been.
That corner, as I said earlier before, is so deceiving. You think you can lunge it from like 3 car lengths back, but because it narrows up so much, it's one of those. And the car ahead is always going to turn in where you want it to be.
Oh yeah. One thing I've noticed about that corner is it is very understeery on entry and very oversteery on exit. It is definitely not a corner. Definitely not anyone's favorite corner. Anyone saying it is definitely lying.
Quirky again, keeping within that DRS of Grunty. That's all we need to do. Keep Grunty within arm's length, get them under pressure. Grunty cannot relax. You've got to
I
feel.
think Grunty right now is cheering on Stitch and to start fighting with Quirky.
You got to feel for Grunty. Second time in a week, he's been comfortably in the lead, and safety cars wiping out his lead.
Yeah, he had a... Actually, no, when the safety car came out, he was P3 because he had just pit. That's why his tires are a lap older than Quirky's and Stitch's.
Double wants a warning check.
Let me see. Let me check it.
We just do a 3 for now. We'll check it a little bit later on.
Are you sure? Because I'm already checking.
Oh yeah, I did. Might as well do the whole thing. As Stygian now.
So you've got Grunty with 1 warning. 1 warning for Quirky. 1 for Stygian. 2 for Breezy. We've got a handful for... We've already got a penalty plus 2 warnings for Crazy Fish. Equal with no warnings. 1 warning for Macy Q. 1 for Steffi. 2 for Jengus. Maddie's got 3 and a warning. Or a penalty and a warning. Benny Boy's got a penalty and 2 warnings. Shane with a penalty and a warning. 1 warning for Alonso plus that 5-second penalty, which should be removed as long as he doesn't pit. And Cornish is the last driver to crash out. That is your warning situation right now.
Well, I would say we're assuming it will get removed. Obviously down to the steward, whoever that does. But for me personally, just on opinions alone, probably cut and dry should be removed. And
Certainly.
Stygian is, every now and again he's getting an opportunity, he cannot make it stick here. The difficult thing he's got is Quirky stayed within DRS of Grunty. I think if he fell out of it, even if he falls out for a lap, Stygian will be passed.
Oh, if he falls out of it for even a lap, I'm pretty sure Stygian will get him.
Pretty sure he got a warning on that last penultimate corner as well on the track limits again. And not close enough. Quirky's straight line speed and maybe the low drag that he's got, keeping him further away. He's under no pressure from Breezy, so he can fully focus in front. And ERS levels, Grunty is just comfortably managing it. He's got almost double ahead of the two ahead of him.
Grunty drops a bit of time. He may have lost the rear end, because now Quirky is right on him. Quirky lose about 0.3 of a second out of the hairpin.
Yeah, the traction for Grunty out of the slow corners is what's keeping him in front, I think.
Yeah, he may be running a higher downforce setup, which is why he's so much better through these corners than Quirky is, and why Quirky is so much better down the straights. Yeah, obviously he's got DRS. I am aware of that, but
yeah, you're right. I think if you just see coming out this hairpin, yeah, he's got
right there. He gained a 10th out of the exit.
He's got probably a higher rear end, I would have said. Higher downforce rear end is getting him a lot of rear end stability out of the corners. He can just easily floor. Stygian again, getting close but not close enough.
I mean, it's disgusting how close he is, and he can't make a move because the guy right in front of him has got DRS the whole way. I say disgusting. I'm not sure which word I wanted to use there. I kind of just gave up with the first one that came to my mind. Stygian might have a chance here, though. He's closer here now than he has ever been after that restart. So he's... Grunty. I don't know what's happened to Grunty recently, but over the last lap, he's kind of dropped it in the first sector, and then he just pulls away on the exit.
Pull. Calculate on the brakes. And again, that trap, look at the
right there, 3/10. How does he get 3/10 there?
I mean,
wow,
Quirky,
Grunty must have seriously, like, emphasized rear end stability.
I mean, Quirky did run deep into that hairpin,
but he did not get it.
We've got Crazy Fish going to the line.
Almost 2/10. Man, that's...
Oof.
Ooh.
Crazy Fish.
Steffi, in the meantime, overtook Eagle for P6.
Nice. They've seen an absolute perfection of dive bomb from Crazy Fish and Breezy. Wow, my goodness me.
Stygian and Quirky, in the meantime, are side by side now. This is going to cause Quirky to lose out on DRS, I imagine.
Yeah, this is it now.
Grunty is probably jumping for joy right now. Oh, Quirky is definitely running a lower downforce. Oh my god, he loses 2/10 out of the exit of these corners. And it's a time penalty for Quirky.
Oh no! That's ruined it. Now Stygian has to get by. It's vital he does.
Oh yeah, meanwhile Grunty now can relax a little bit, but not too much, because Stygian, remember, is still close.
Keeping a very keen eye on the battle behind for 4th place as well. Breezy, Crazy Fish, Steffi and Eagle. Just saw on the lap previously, Crazy Fish pulled up an absolute perfection of a dive bomb on Breezy, and then 3 corners later, Breezy just dive bombed him back and gave him no room on the exit at all, which would have ruffled Crazy Fish. And again, he's going to be close enough.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going for it. They touched,
squeezing.
I think. They are touching again.
Breezy squeezing on the exit. Comes Steffi.
Dives on Crazy Fish. Oh, this is looking spicy.
Oh, that's why I'm keeping like a half an eye on it.
Here in Texas, you know they love that spicy.
Yeah. That's brought Eagle back into it again. I don't know where to look. I'm keeping an eye on these front three.
So far, the front three are still business as usual. Steffi gets a penalty, and he almost loses it on the exit. Macy Q must be loving what he's seeing in front of him. With all these guys fighting, he's going to give him a chance to catch back up.
Battles are plenty in this race.
I'd say right now the top three and P4 to P8 are both in a pressure cooker. Question is, will the pressure be released or will it explode?
Yeah, in terms of penalties, top three would, well, top three will be the podium, but it would be Stygian ahead. And Eagle and Macy Q and Genghis, actually. Genghis is within, I think.
Yeah, he's closing in. He's closing in, certainly. Maddie is right behind Genghis, though. Genghis has got a penalty, of course, but...
This will probably be the point that Hards. Oh, there's Crazy Fish lunging on Breezy.
Oh!
Nice.
They do touch, man. He bumped him right off. He was like, yeah, P4 is mine, thanks.
He basically gave a little payback to Breezy. That's exactly what Breezy did to him 3 laps ago.
Yep. Steffi looked for the move for a moment, did not get it.
Who's on the hard
Stygian
tires?
has been in P3 this entire time. He's still running strong, though.
Yeah, Money Biscuit in the chat saying this is probably the point where the hard tires start to get a little bit consistently better.
Oh yeah,
I think he's right.
Considering Stygian, Arash Alonso's in the pits, so he's going to serve his 5 seconds here. I think he's just looking for the fastest lap now.
Take it away from somebody.
Fair play to him. Currently, the fastest lap belongs to Cornish still with a 37.6, so it shouldn't take too much for him to get that. Now, because Cornish just crashed out, the point wouldn't go to him anyway.
No, it won't go to anybody.
No, it would not. Quirky just barely inside the DRS zone still, or DRS still.
I'll notice one thing, by the way. Look at the ERS level, the top 3. Do you see a difference?
11 for Stygian, 21 for Quirky, it's 75 for Grunty.
75.
He has been absolutely stockpiling ERS.
Eagle with a nice move on Steffi to move back into 6th. As Genghis gets a penalty now because he's in a fight with Matty, trying to give him space.
Well, that's unfortunate for him. He should still get points, though.
I hate those time penalties. When you're trying to give a guy space and the game was like, nah, here comes a penalty for you.
Yeah, those are certainly the worst kind of
penalties.
Oh,
Macy Q now.
With another 3 second, or maybe that was his first.
That puts 7th downwards on equal playing field.
Just about, yeah.
I think Grunty again, the amount of VRS he's got, he's in comfort zone right now because the guy behind him's got a 3-second penalty. His only threat is Stygian, who still, ever since the pit stops, cannot find a way by. And it's not like he hasn't tried. He's burned his ERS. So frustrating. And we assumed he was going to be on the offensive.
Oh, certainly. He definitely was. It wasn't like he was slacking off, waiting for Quirky to make a mistake. He was fighting it pretty hard. And that's actually why Quirky got his 3 seconds, because he was so worried about Stygian making a move on him that he just overdrove it in the first sector. Unfortunately, I don't know how much Stygian's tires have left. He's been in the dirty air this entire time. Oh, and the top 3 are bunched up a bit again.
They just got by Benny Boy, Matty and Genghis fighting for 9th, but yeah, they're back to the top 3. I think the only way...
This is the closest Quirky has been here, but But his drive off the corner is just nothing compared to Grunty's.
That ERS
That might be
level,
all
isn't
it takes for Grunty to keep ahead.
The only way Grunty can lose this is if he gets a penalty himself, or if Stygian gets by this lap on Quirky, and then the next lap would be on the back of him. But again, it's just that defensive ERS level that Grunty has is just ridiculous right now. Just shows what the pace he has.
Yeah, I think he's gonna start having. He's gonna have to start using it soon. Arash Alonso does put up the best lap. It's a 36.6.
And he's outside the top 10, so he won't get the point anyway. But it's
Stygian's dropping back a little bit. Oh, Quirky lost it a little bit. He had to overcorrect the car. He had to correct the car, excuse me.
Ooh, Stygian is 1 warning away from a penalty. Grunty is still 2 warnings. Just very quickly checked as we head onto the final lap now. All Grunty's got to do seems so easy. He's just got to keep it calm for this lap. Keep within the track limits. He's got 2 warnings to play with actually on this lap. So is Stygian going to be content with second? Stygian's got to be very, very careful because he is 1 warning away from getting a penalty himself, and that would mean second place would be gone. And Crazy Fish is so close. He needs to find 3 more attempts over Breezy to keep hold of 4th. Gapping him a little bit.
Yeah, Breezy's got to realize that he's pulling away, and he's got to start taking the sand out. He doesn't have any ERS though, so it's definitely not going to be easy for him. There goes both Quirky and Stygian's probably final chance to overtake the guy ahead of them.
Oh,
Eagle and Steffi swapping spots.
This might help.
Oh, they're side by side. Oh, that looked close.
Yeah, that'll help
Through the
Crazy Fish
penultimate
to stay
corner
ahead.
now, though. Out through the final corner, Grunty is going to cross the line, and he's going to win. Oh, what is he doing? Oh, okay. I was just like, whoa, what is he doing? He just went hard left. So Grunty's going to win. Stygian holds on and gets P2. P3 for Quirky, followed by Breezy, Crazy Fish, Eagle, Steffi, Macy Q, Jengus, Maddie are your points finishers. Following them, Shane, Benny Boy, and Arash Alonso.
And also off the score sheet. 4 points for Macy Q. So the team is not going to be on 0.
That is good news for Haas. They will not be denied points tonight.
Well, wasn't without pressure for Grunty. Definitely not. But it seemed very cool under pressure he was. Despite yet again his lead being wiped out from the safety car, he still kept his composure ahead of the battling Stygian and Matty. Not Stygian, Matty, Stygian, Quirky. Stygian, even on those medium tyres, they didn't seem to work. He just couldn't get the straight line speed close enough to Quirky behind. Quirky, yet again, 2 second places in a row for him. It's a good start to his season as well. fact, the top three, you could say, basically had the best starts. Grunty 2 wins in a row, Quirky 2 seconds in a row, and Stygian has backed up a fourth with a third.
P2.
Oh, of course, yeah. And a fourth and a second.
Stygian got P2 and P3 for Quirky. But Grunty starting off this season with 2 wins. He is definitely looking like the title threat, title favorite.
A bit early for that, yeah.
I don't know, man. If you win your first 2 races, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what also happens if you win the first 2 races. I'll keep that quiet. Breezy in 4th place. I mean, Breezy, considering he was in the back end of qualifying for most of it, end up in 4th place, I think is another great result for him. Crazy Fish, Eagle, Steffi, Mesa Q gets Haas off the board. Genghis Knight for Matty in 10th picks up the last point.
And we do have our 3 for the podium.
Right, how shall we do this? Where's the things in the
We'll just take it how we normally do. I get P2, you get P1 and 3.
Okay. I'm trying to think. It's a virtual showroom. Here it is. So P3, we go to Quirky first. Are you there, Quirky?
I am, yeah.
Okay, lovely. So another solid result for yourself, backing up your 2nd place from Mexico with a 3rd place here. So you're definitely like this side of the world. I'm pretty certain. An annoying penalty towards the back end of the race denied you 2nd, but a very solid start for yourself, Quirky. Must be satisfied with that.
Yeah, really satisfied. Right, firstly, congrats to Grunty for another win, pulling away now in the championship. But yeah, I do like the American circuits, absolutely fantastic. This race, I'd say that's probably the best I've driven any race. It's so precise, made very few mistakes, and pushing all the way to the end, and just to try and keep Stygian behind. And he was pushing pretty hard. I seen he was on the medium, so I was just going to jump me straight away. And then I felt like he had a straight line speed, but he always closed up in sector 3. But yeah, really good race. Enjoyed that one. Worked for it.
Yeah, all good. I saw me and Daze noticed that coming out of the slow corners, Grunty was just getting too much traction out of the slow corners. They're just getting enough of a gap. Few opportunities for you to have. Another good start to the season, as I mentioned. Belgium next, and Belgium is going to be an interesting one because this is our first look into the sprint format, which could shake up things a lot, couldn't it? Because there's 2 races we've got to contend with, a shorter one and a longer one. Short qualifying as well could be different. So what do you think? Are you going to be basically try and maintain the momentum as best as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say Belgium's one of the stronger circuits, so I'm hoping for a bit of rain. I do prefer the wet conditions. I was hoping for rain today, actually. I did a practice tornado beforehand and he had so much pace. So I was hoping for a bit of rain today, but didn't get it. We're back to Belgium, yeah, really looking forward to that one. But it's going to be hard now because Grunty, it's so quick at the minute, and yeah, he's not making any mistakes at all. So I go in the sprint races, again with safety cars, people make mistakes, hopefully to capitalise on some of those. Yeah, it should be an interesting one next week. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely could shake things up a little bit. Maybe from a neutral perspective, could be a good thing to see different guys near the top. But all credit to you guys, all three of you. I mean, they've had a good solid start to the season, but well done in 3rd place, and good luck in the races in Belgium.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
All right, on to our man, the Flying Dutchman. He got P2 tonight after missing out just barely on Podium last week at Mexico. Our boy Stygian, how are you feeling after that race, man?
Yeah, I'm happy. Qualifying was a bit of a shame. I invalidated. I would have nicked ball by, I believe, 100 of a second. But it's invalid, so it doesn't count. But I made up for it in the race with a bit of luck. So very happy with the results. I wish I could have fought for the win, but I had to take care of my mediums. Otherwise they wouldn't have lasted till the end of the race. So I had to look after them while still trying to push and keep the pressure on. I tried to go up the inside in the final sector once. I tried to go around the outside of the penultimate corner once, but it just didn't work. Quirky was defending very well, and that prevented me from getting to Grunty. So congrats to Grunty on the win, by the way. Tier 1 is called.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, I'm happy with the result. Happy with PT.
Heading next week, we are going to the Belgian circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. How do you feel heading into that track?
I really enjoy the track, although league racing I tend to crash there quite a lot. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well.
And I was going to say, how did you feel when that last safety car came out and you were able to pit onto the mediums?
Well, I was planning to pit at the end of lap 16, but then the safety car came out, so I was like, yo, now is my chance, it's now or never. So I was really happy it came out. Great timing. I wish Quirky would have pitted a lap earlier with the rest of the pack so that I would have been in second, but he did well by staying out as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. I hope you have much better luck going after the win next week. Now we move on to our race winner, Grunty. Take it away, Michaels.
Alright, thank you. Grunty, what can I say? A second race in a row where, once again, you had to contend with a safety car wiping out your lead. But once again, you have been very cool under pressure. You don't drive for Williams. What am I doing? AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri. There we go. I am professional. Yeah, second win in a row. Again, under big pressure towards the last few laps of that race. What with Quirky and Stygian right behind. But again, as I mentioned to Quirky, you had very good traction out of the rear, out the slow corners. Were you running a bit of higher downforce, or was that a trade secret?
Oh, mate, I don't really keep secrets, to be fair, mate.
Running full traction.
Yeah, running full traction, exactly that. Yeah. No, I don't know. I had my setup previously was like really spinny and really oversteering and stuff like that. So I just like changed it up a bit, and it seemed to work. I mean, I did not expect to be that fast at all. I was doing practice with other drivers like F1 drivers and stuff, and I was so much slower than them. Just shows obviously the pace gap between F1 and F2. But yeah, I just really, I don't know, like P3, getting P3 in quali was a big surprise. I was not expecting it at all. I was expecting like mid to bottom half of top 10 in quali. And then I just had a race setup. I didn't bother about quali. I had a race set up and it worked very well.
Yes. Yeah, perfect start, basically, apart from not getting the fastest laps. Unfortunately, I think, to be honest, you need to share the luck with your teammate, because you've had the perfect start, and I think Cornish has probably had the most unluckiest of starts for his season. Yeah, especially when
he was 3 laps down at the end, and this week he crashes out.
Yeah, especially the fact in qualifying, especially he's been pushing you as well. So, very good stuff. Let's hope he can get some points on the ball soon and start his season off.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I told him not to start on the soft, so he's starting on the soft, so I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Doing my best with him, but no, he's just struggling at the moment. He's just not doing very much practice, which is causing him to spin and have trouble and whatnot. And I think he had a coming together with people coming out the pits on slow hards and things like that. So that's why he spun like the second time. But no, I just wish he'd not wish he'd do better, but no, I wish his luck improves. It's a bit ongoing in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Belgium next week, 2 races. The first time
Is it 2?
it's a sprint.
Sprint.
Round.
Oh,
You're
sweet.
part of the committee, Grunty. You should goddamn know.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, boy.
Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Sprint round next week. 2 races, short race, full race, and short qualifying as well, which might shake things up a little bit. What's your thoughts? I've personally done a league race on the sprint, and it is very, very enjoyable. It is also tiring, so that could be another little test as well. What's your thoughts? Could shake things up again.
Yeah, definitely, man. I don't think I've raced Spa at all in this game yet. So I don't have time for practice this week just because I've got another uni work to do. So I'm probably going to be going into Monday with no practice at all. I might have like an hour, but that'll probably be it just because I'm so busy. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see. Like, obviously, people are super quick in this league. Like, Stygian always gets luck with the strategy somehow with safety cars. Every single race, he had it last week. He's got it this week. And Quirky's super quick as well. You've got other drivers up there, which are all super quick. So it should be fun to see. And it's all going to be about straight line speed, isn't it? Who's got that straight line speed to get down that first straight? And plus, El Rouge on cold tyres, if they don't obviously fix the glitch, is gonna be awful.
Right.
Trust me, it is awful. It is. I've done 2 full distance races there. It's cold tires at Eau Rouge is terrible.
Is it like wet weather tires? Fair enough for that. Because wet tires on Eau Rouge is quite enjoyable. Anyway, that's next week. Well done on your win. Back-to-back victories. A good start to the season. The almost perfect start. No fastest lap, Grunty. Come on, you can do better. You do fastest laps in Belgium, right?
Mate, I'm sweating enough trying to win races, honestly. Like, that whole race, from the safety car onwards, me and Quirky in the same party, the only way we were staying in front was obviously to keep the train. And, like, every time he got down to 9/10, he'd make a mistake or something like that, I'd, like, slow down a little bit just to keep in that DRS, keep the train through. That's the only way we could keep sticking ahead.
I knew it. Anyway.
It worked. It worked at the end of the day. I protected myself with Quirky, but it worked.
We're different teams.
Yeah, but mates. So
I was screaming, overtake him, and the gap just became bigger and bigger.
Oh man.
Well done.
Anyway.
No, what did you?
Anyway, well done on your win, and good luck in Belgium.
Thank you.
Alright, yet another chapter is written in the F2 division, and as I mentioned, we go to arguably one of the greatest tracks on the calendar, Belgium, Spa, Francorchamps. You got to respect it. We're doing 2 races around there with short qualifying. The first time this league does sprint format. Should be interesting. Should be very, very interesting. Especially if some wet weather thrown in. Good start to the season days from a viewer's perspective. I think this is all building up quite nicely.
It very well is. Our top 3 tonight all finished in the top 4 last week, and these 3 could be the title favorites.
Still too early. Still too early.
It's a little early, but remember, there is only 16 rounds.
We all know.
Every round counts.
We all know how badly it can go. All 3 of these. I'm not wishing anything on these 3, but these 3 could not finish the next 4 races, and then all of a sudden, someone else is back in. So.
It's true.
All it takes is one DNF.
Exactly that.
That's also true.
Or a promotion to F1.
You know, that's...
I don't think anyone in this division is getting promoted.
No.
I don't think.
Grunty.
No.
Yeah, mate, if I go up quick, it comes with me, mate. I'm not getting it.
I don't think Grunty would get promoted. He didn't even get pole.
The thing is, right, the reason why I gapped so much early on and I was watching it is because Breezy and Steffi were battling tooth nail for the first like 5 or 6 laps, and then Steffi was actually catching me as well before he spun, so he was actually faster than me in the first stint. It was like 10th and a half, 10th here and there, like especially the first sector. He was catching me loads, and then obviously he spun, so that they created a massive gap behind because they were just battling so much. So that's where like the first like 7 seconds came from, which I will obviously argue people join me.
You notice the defensive barrier is putting over himself, guys. You know.
I am. Of course I am. Of course I am. I'm finally winning races. You want
Right.
me to lose it?
Anyway,
I can't compete F1.
let's finish off before etc. Anyway, thank you very much everybody for watching. Dave, thank you very much for your company.
For sure, man.
Right. And we will see you in Belgium for next week for a little piece of history. So make sure you join us. Could be a long evening. But from now until then, please take care of yourselves and see you tomorrow for the F5. Come on, Dave, you're going to win. You're going to win tomorrow, right?
I'm gonna hope for the best.
Come on.
Big Alpha
You're
Tower
gonna
win.
win.
I was fighting for a podium last week, so anything's possible.
Alright, so until then, take care everybody, and good night.
Good night.